despite this wonderful ambition and this momentum we're seeing, what barriers still exist that might derail this EV process, this whole kind of momentum that we've got now, and how might we overcome them? So, Jake, I'm going to come to you first, because an electric vehicle without being powered up from somewhere or another isn't going to go very far. So are we ready, and what barriers do you see right now that may be in the process of being overcome? What would you say to that?
Yeah, thanks for the question, Roger. And just for folks who don't know, National Grid is an electric and natural gas utility that serves 3 states in the northeastern U.S.: New York, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island. And we take electrification of transportation really seriously, and we talk to our customers about it a lot and ask them, what are the barriers that they are seeing. The 2 biggest ones that tend to bubble up, Roger, are the cost of the vehicles. I think we're seeing a lot of progress on that. The last estimate I saw was between 20 and 30 new vehicle models would be launching in the U.S. this year. Many of them, more affordable. And I think we'll see those costs continue to come down over time. But the second one is range anxiety. People are still really nervous about where they're going to fuel their vehicles. Now, we believe most of the charging for electric vehicles is still going to happen at people's homes. But range anxiety is real, and it's a real barrier for folks. And that's why our company and many other companies in this ecosystem are really focused on building electric vehicle charging infrastructure to help bring that barrier down.
One of the real challenges that I think is out there is the credibility of the electric vehicle being a real solution for climate. After all, I mean, this is the reason we're doing this. This is the reason we're doing this transformation. And so we need to have very transparent information made available to everybody, to undoubtedly making sure that they're making the right choice and we're all making the right decision in sort of migrating from the internal combustion engine to the electric vehicle. Now, everything else has to follow. I mean, Jake's system has to be there, the infrastructure has to be there, the connectivity has to be there, the distance to be driven has to be sufficient to give people the assurance that they can get where they want to be. And if they need to recharge along the way, it's fast and quick and available. But, at the end of the day, though, I mean, the real credibility item is about, is it a better solution for the planet? And that's where, the connectivity of the partnership of the Global Battery Alliance is focusing its mind on. It's focusing its mind on greenhouse gases emission, and it's focusing its mind on the other determinant is the supply of material. One of the things that is, Mother Nature put different resources in many places in the world. We got to make sure that they are extracted in the right way, they get into the vehicle in the right way. And at the end of the day, it is recycled or reused in a proper fashion so that, we're maximizing the resources we have.
There's multiple themes in my view. The first one is improving cost, right? And I think as Jake pointed out, the costs are coming down. We're getting really close to parity with internal combustion engines, which is great progress. I think one threat to that potential cost improvement is the supply chain for raw materials and adjustments that need to be made today in mining in order to ensure the supply for EVs. Assuming that goes well, I think the next few barriers are around improving quality. I think EVs are new, and for people to build trust and comfort in that technology, both on the range piece, but also on the safety and quality piece. We see news lines on EV fires and burning down houses in their garage, right? And I think that gives hesitation to consumers. And I think as the industry really tries to scale, there needs to probably be more traceability, trust, transparency in terms of the battery health. So I think that's an area where, in my seat at Analog Devices, I can see us help the ecosystem innovate and help improve quality and that transparency. I also think there's one other dimension that's kind of interesting. It's a bit longer, a longer view, and it has to do with the residual value of the battery, and it ties into that transparency piece of battery health. The used EV market, how is that going to shape up, right? Is that really going to be attractive compared to, you know, the used car market we're used to today? And I think there's this trust tax that comes into place when you sell a used EV if you don't have enough knowledge on kind of that battery health. So
Yeah.
I'd say those are going to become, I think, more in the forefront as EVs scale and take off.